Okay, in this chapter, we're going to take a look at what it takes to pair the Android device. Now, typically, you only need to do this once, because what it's going to do is it's going to basically put a signature on your phone that it has been Bluetooth paired with your computer. If it ever gets out of sync, you might have to do this again. I have not had that problem, but it could happen, I guess. So let's see what it takes. So here you'd say you want to pair the Android device. So number 3. And it's going to say this is your initial setup. Enter the device IP and the pairing port. So the phone has to be on the same network, wireless network, as your computer. Okay. And in the Android device, you're going to do this you're going to go into settings. So let's come over here and go into settings. And you're going to go into your developer settings. Let's see. We're going to go, oh, I'm sorry. We're going to go into system. There we go. System. Now we go into developer options, and we're going to scroll down, and we're going to make sure that our wireless debugging is enabled. So when you enable it, you're going to tap on this here, and it's going to show you the IP address. So it's showing that right here, right, and the port. Now this is what it uses to load programs to the device and communicate with the device. But you have to pair it first. So what you want to do is pair device with pairing code. And so in this case, you'll see that, let me move this guy over here, that the port is actually going to be different. The IP address is the same as when we load programs on it, but the port's different. So you're going to have to write that down. And then over here, we're going to enter in our IP address as 192.168.1.154, and then this is our pairing port is going to be 454. So 45433. Hit enter. And now it's going to say enter in the pairing code. So our pairing code here is 836496. And hit enter. And there now it's now paired. So we're in good shape here. And now we could start doing wireless installs on the device. Mine had been previously paired, but it just paired it again. Now notice that the IP address in the port, so the IP address is the same. This is the one that we load the programs with. But this port is 46211, and this pairing port was 45433. So that can be confusing for a lot of people, but that's all you need to do there. Now in this case, if I were to do a turbo sync right now, let's go ahead and do that. You'll see it do the wireless install, and you'll see what happens on the phone when I do it. So it immediately just automatically fires up the application and installs the application. That should be all you need to know to pair the device. Oh, there is one other thing I wanted to discuss with you. In this case, I'm going to hit any key to continue, and I'm going to hit 5 to exit. Now, when I do that, notice where I am. In this case, I'm in the directory where all of the files were created for this project. This includes all the alpha files and all of the Docker container files. And there's a lot of them. If you take a look at the GitHub repo, which is, I think I've got that loaded over, let's see if I've got it here. Yeah, this is it. And let me make this window a little bit smaller so you can see it. these are all the files that make up the whole project. And let's go back here. So we'll be looking at all of the files here. So it's this repo is called Alpha Cordova V2 scripts. And this is what makes up the whole project itself. And in fact, you can download this and run it from a blank directory, and it will just install a simple little test application to that directory. But these are all the supporting files. So there are PowerShell scripts here. You'll notice a production build.ps1 and a verify environment ps1. You'll notice there's certain batch files. The batch files call the PowerShell scripts. And there's different things that control different things that are happening within here. So this is what makes up the whole. It's what we call the Alpha Cordova Android Automation Suite. Everything. And you can read through all this. You could actually use this without Alpha if you read through this. And you could use it with anything that you wanted to build with that was a Cordova app, where you have to just make sure that you put all your files into a directory called www. In fact, let's do that. Let's just for fun, let's go ahead and we'll create a directory here on my C drive. So let's do that. And we'll just call in my, well, let's put it in. I always put things in my Mac shared files because I end up using that to build out iOS apps. I share this computer with my Macs so I can build out the iOS apps. We'll create a directory here, new directory, and we'll just call it Docker test. And that's where we're going to put all these files here. So if we were to go ahead and let's jump over, minimize this, and go to code here and just download the zip. So we can just do that. There it is. Let's go look at it. Let's go open it. And let's just grab all these files. So I'm gonna just hit Control A and right click and copy. And now let's go back to, so we'll just get rid of that and go back over here and to my Docker test. And I'm just going to copy these files in here. There's many ways you can do this, but this is one. Okay. Now notice, so at this point, these scripts are all there. I've got Docker running, right? So Docker desktop is running. And if we look at it, we can see we've got these caches all populated. And you can see the container is actually still running because we did it in alpha. Now, so what that means is, and I'll show you what's going to happen. So volumes here, I'm going to minimize this. We're going to go ahead and launch a terminal and Docker test. So open in terminal here. And here we'll just do a quick look at all the batch files that we have. And we could say, no, at this point I haven't entered in any specific information in the www directory, which is the source of all of your application. But I could run build and install, and this will look familiar. And here you'd say, yeah, I want to do a full reset. And so now it's going to build out, and notice it removed all the existing volumes, so those have all been cleaned out. And if we go to take a look at the container itself, you'll notice that all of this has changed. So this no longer has all of the stuff that we had cached from the alpha app that we had built. And it's going to go through a full build process here. So you could have any kind of Cordova app that you generated. Just put the files in the www directory. and you should be good to go. Now, in this case, there are sample files in there, and that's what it's doing. It's going to build out a sample project. And as I had mentioned before, the first time you do this, it's pretty slow because it's got to load all the Gradle files. And unfortunately, the Gradle files are thousands of these files, and it just takes a while on a Windows machine to do that. But if we were to look at let's go back and look at my Android device here. Now you'll see this is the sample app. So we've got Alpha Cordova Android test devices ready, and that's just out of the box. You get that, so you can test it and go, okay, yeah, Cordova's working. The app that I built is running, and actually, right now you could go in if you wanted to. Let's go ahead and do something. Why not? So we'll go ahead and we're going to leave that running. And now we're going to go into the directory that contains our application. So in this case, we've got the Docker test. We're going to come over in here, and we're going to go into our www directory, and there's our index.html file, and let's just make a change to it. So we'll go ahead and let's see. I'd prefer to use. It doesn't really give me an open with. Well, it should. Let's see what we've got here. Open with Visual Studio Code. All right, so now we can see here's our HTML page, and we'll just call this Cordova Android test, and we'll say v1.0.1, and we'll go ahead and save it, right? And now, if we were to go back into our Docker, I believe it's this one, and just say TurboSync, it will detect the change, and it will build the app. And we've got to show you my Android device here, and there it is. And there you can see the version 1.0.1. So one of the things that's really cool about this is that not only can you use it with Alpha, but you can use it any way you want with Cordova Android and make sure you're getting the latest tooling and that type of thing. Next videos, I'll talk about the caching, how it works, and things that can bite you. Stay tuned.